What's up, everybody?
Welcome back. This is the Lounge, episode 17. Special guest, GALLIUM.
Is that how you say that?
What's up, man?
I believe that's how you say that.
Yep, it is GALLIUM.
Nice. This is a podcast about music production, folks. We're going to dive deep into nerdy shit. It's going to be really fun. Maybe. Or it won't. But we're here with Jet. Thanks, Jet. What's up? We are back.
Oh.
My name is Caleb.
Return guest.
Yeah, what's up,
This is
Jet?
David.
Good to see you.
And that's Austin, who just interrupted me
Yeah,
rudely.
suck it, Caleb.
And again, this is our special guest,
Yo,
GALLIUM.
Jet, tell Caleb to suck it.
How's it going,
sorry.
Jet?
Special guest, good homie.
Well, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
If you want, you can do a quick shout out of yourself. What kind of music you make?
I'm GALLIUM. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. I make bass music, and I now live here in Denver.
Let's go.
Let's go.
That's right.
Thank you, studio audience.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, he makes some bangers.
Yeah, he does make some bangers.
Yeah. So we
I
invited
appreciate
him
that.
onto the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah. Now we have a giant thing of topics here.
Yeah, it's a large
As always,
notepad.
right?
Yep. As always.
Actually, I think I have
We've
some.
discussed them all.
I think I have some
amongst all of
previous
us.
topics.
Right, yeah.
Let me take a look. Does anybody have anything interesting from the week?
Yeah, actually, what I was going to say is for yourself, what is like some like fun ways you like to do some sound design stuff? Like how do you like to go about that?
Yeah.
I usually start
Like
in
mud pies or like what are we talking?
mud pies. I don't know. To be honest, I usually start in Serum.
Mhm.
I usually just build off that. Basic Shapes is my best friend.
Let's go.
Pretty simple from there. I do a lot of my the gnarlier shit you hear in post,
Okay.
post processing.
Yeah, sure.
Are you guys familiar with like UAD plugins, Universal?
A little bit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't have them.
Universal Audio.
Familiar.
Fair
For
enough.
sure.
Yeah, the VSM from them is like probably my prized possession of software. It's a distortion unit.
Now we're talking
Ooh.
Yeah,
gas.
that is
Let's
just
go.
absolutely unreal.
Nice, okay.
This thing?
Yeah. Yeah, the Vertigo
nice.
VSM. I think it's a monster.
Oh, I've
okay.
seen this
It's what
before.
the plugin looks like.
Wait a minute.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen that one too.
I
Yeah.
feel like Travis might have given us that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, no, it's
if it's UAD, we don't have it.
Yeah.
I think there might be a Sound Toys version and a
Oh, so it's
Maybe
an,
like a
it's an
decapitator.
emulation?
yeah, it's an emulation.
Sick.
There's a yeah.
I mean, it looks fun as hell.
It's super fun. I mean, and the crazy thing too is like you can distort or saturate like the odd harmonics individually from the even, which
What?
can
Nice.
create some very interesting stuff.
Nice.
Oh,
Mhm.
shit.
Oh, nice.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
shit.
a couple of those on a track, because each one does different things. So like I'll have 3 of those on an individual bass,
Nice.
distorting the lows different from the highs with all the different settings. Yeah, no, that thing's
Oh,
a
does it
monster.
let you separate
Let me zoom
that
in.
way?
Yeah.
Now it's all small. Listen here, bros.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That
yeah.
is sick.
No, that's definitely something to check
You have
out. if
any-
you guys
Here
are-
we go.
Any other distortion?
That is probably the
related?
I wanna see
that
what
is probably
this
the main like out of the box distortion I use.
Okay.
Ableton's saturator itself is
Yeah,
an
yeah.
animal. Like
Sure.
you throw that on hard curve, it is
Yeah, it's a
Something
nasty
special.
bitch.
Yeah. Like a few months back, I was messing with the Seinfeld distortion in the saturator, and like that one gets some weird shit. When you're
Yeah.
turning all the knobs at the bottom, like the bass and the
especially with the wave shaper.
yeah.
Yeah. That and the actual plugin called Wave Shaper, if you want to get more in depth into wave shaping, is
Let's
Wave,
go.
dude,
Yeah.
wave shaping
Let's
is
go.
my best friend.
yeah.
I love
Yeah.
wave shaping.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I wave shape everything now. Everything has at least 2 wave shapers on it
Yeah.
at any moment, just because I need to just control what's happening.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I know what's happening.
My
all the way through.
my standard bass rack that I created and that I use on pretty much every bass has like a just absolutely ridiculous wave shape like wave shaper saturator cranked, but
Nice.
at like 35% dry wet.
Okay.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Which gives like everything I make very interesting tone.
right. Kind of
everything-
gives it like some homemade sauce.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
over the whole thing.
Yeah, it makes everything a little more cohesive too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, that's something I need to do more is make like dedicated racks to stuff like that.
Mhm.
Because I have like 2 distortion racks that I made like 2 years ago, and like I'll touch them here and there, and they're kind of fun, you know. But you can tell like I didn't really know what I was doing, so it'd be nice to go in and like fine tune one or like make a couple different versions, you know.
Yeah, and that's like kind of what I do. And so at this point, like when I'm sound designing like in the box, I'm usually sound designing into a rack of post processing that I've previously curated.
Nice, yeah, that's a good way
Okay.
to do it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if anything's not hitting for me, like within that I don't like, I usually know exactly where to go in that post. To fix
Sure.
it, you know?
Sure. You've used it so many times. You're like, oh, that's the saturator. I
Yeah,
know
you know,
he's doing something hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
Ease that guy back a little
Yeah.
bit.
yeah.
Interesting.
And here and there, you know, if I'm not feeling something, switch it out for something I haven't used in a minute. But
Right. Yeah. I have a hard time building those. I always want to make them from scratch. I'm
Yeah.
always like, no, but I want to, like, every time I'm like, first I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to add all these little things all the way along and see what happens.
well, and
But
that,
it might be a good call to just have some that
I
you
would
try.
I would definitely say it is, and that was like one of the main things that they hammered into us at Icon was like getting your efficiency on point.
Sure.
Because you know you can spend all the time in the world on like one sound, but that might take away from what you could have done in the next like hour and a half, 2 hours. Create what
Yeah.
I do is like, you know, create quickly to get you know, like a cohesive idea going, and then go back and do the ear candy.
Right. Right. For sure.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, that's
For
a good way
sure.
to think about it, because then you're like, you just get that main idea down, and it's like, okay, this is an idea worth taking to that next step. So it's
Yeah.
like,
and
Right.
then get into the like nitty gritty, like I'm gonna make this gnarly sound that I've never done before.
Right.
You know.
I do a
Yeah.
similar thing. I just use like what I call like template sounds, where I'm just like, all right, I know I want this kind of thing here. Let me make a simple version of it, and then I'll come back later once the song's all the way done, and I'll make it new and
Yeah.
dope.
It's
Yeah.
like writing a complex bass line with just a saw wave, and
Right.
then later figuring out what you want that to be.
yeah.
No, that's huge. That's huge for sure. Wow. I want this distortion thing so bad now.
I know, it looks sick. I like the colors on it too.
Yeah, it's a satisfying unit. Definitely,
one's
definitely
a fet.
recommend doing the
One's
demo.
Dude, Fat Crusher, dude.
Dude, I love distortion and saturation so much.
Hell yeah.
yeah,
So
this is like
obsessed with it.
favorite thing of all time.
What is you've been messing with the new one, right, Caleb? Distortion unit?
Oh yeah, look, a classic.
Show that
I can't
thing.
even remember what it's called. Oh wait, Homicide.
Oh
This,
yeah.
this fucking thing,
I've
dude.
seen
Is
this.
this the one with the blood on it?
Yeah, it's so out of control or whatever. Yeah, there's blood on it.
Nice.
You like it?
Oh.
Here, folks. Let me get you over there. I love this thing. I haven't fucked with it enough. But it's
I pulled it up
multiband.
once and it was like, like
Yeah.
immediately
Well,
it's like, bah!
Because it starts with just a random.
Right.
It's just random, so it's not like set at normal.
It is random.
Oh, there's
Yeah,
no, like,
Like
basically.
you could reopen it and it would
I
be different.
maybe.
That would be sick.
I think it just doesn't like its default isn't what you would consider default. It's like already cranked on some random
Oh,
things,
wow.
Right.
which
Yeah.
is dumb. But
yeah.
I mean, it came out like forever ago. But the dope thing is you can move and automate the multiband knobs like around, and you don't get any kind of artifacts. Like it's not popping all weird and shit. So you can make some
That's pretty sweet.
wild sounds.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Get crazy with
Especially-
the
That
automation.
is the way to
Right.
fuck with it.
Especially if your sound coming in is already very dynamic and complex. And yeah, you're just going to get some crazy shit.
What if you move the bands around in a multi-band container if it gives you
I think it does.
artifacts?
We're talking a Bitwig. Do you know
We
what Bit-
recently
Bitwig is?
switched to
I know what
Bitwig.
it is. I've
Okay.
never
Dude, it's
used
the
it.
best thing on planet Earth.
Really?
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
Goddamn
It's
best.
the best.
It's so amazing.
Been working at Ableton for 6 years, and it took me like 2 weeks. And I was like, nope, this is better.
Really?
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
Why?
It's so fucking awesome.
What y'all love about it?
Workflow
Yeah.
wise is it's a workflow thing strictly. So for every device let's say if you had like an operator going, if you want to route like LFOs and different things within operator, you go like the matrix area and kind of you have to like sit there and fiddle with things. Everything in Bitwig has a modulation system that they have LFOs, ADSR, like
Randoms,
note followers,
CV in,
key tracking, like
MIDI out,
any random thing you can think of.
Damn.
And you can just apply that at the plugin on your channel strip on anything.
That's pretty insane.
On anything.
Yeah, and
So,
as many times as you want.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's insane. So you can have like an ADSR on every single one of your plugins, like flicking a dry wet, you know?
Yeah.
Just like giving you like a shunk.
Yeah, so
That's
kinda
everything's
cool.
super tight and just yeah, the amount of things that
Which you could do all this in Ableton, but it would be quite a lot more work.
Way more of a process.
and more CPU, I'm assuming as well,
yeah.
because the amount of max
smooth.
LFOs happening is gonna
It is
just
very smooth.
kill you. Yeah.
And it just sounds better.
Does it?
so, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
It
a
looks
dog.
better.
Yeah. Hear it.
It's like
We'll
way.
bring it open too.
Yeah.
But, we do have Ableton open here because this is what we usually work in on the pod if we're gonna do anything. But
yeah, we assume people aren't quite ready for Bitwig yet.
I do love their opening card is way cooler than Ableton's. Because Ableton's is like nice and classy and basic. It's just like the dark color. But theirs is all like fun and like, ooh, here's a cool program.
yeah, I mean,
Get you excited for it.
Yeah, right.
it's free fire. Yeah, so you can see here. I'm gonna click on. Let's just go into drums. I already have a kick 2 here for a kick.
I do like the UI.
But if I click
Oh,
on
it's
this
sexy.
bottom, now I have modulators, so I can add an ADSR. I can map it to whatever I want.
You gotta commit it.
Oh yeah. Now I have full control over my little ADSR on this guy or whatever, whatever you want. Super fast.
Yeah, it's
pretty
super
slick.
clean.
Yeah.
And I mean, compared to Ableton, although Ableton right now is zoomed in as hell because it's what we're looking on, folks, is a TV. So
I think Ableton looks nice.
yeah, but look how long it takes me to open preferences. That is unacceptable.
That's also a part of it.
yeah, Bitwig is like
Yeah,
Just
it's
super
unreal.
quick.
super fast. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is gnarly.
I think that would be the hardest thing for me just because I've been in Ableton so long. It would be hard for me to get acclimated.
You would think, but I beg that it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of think it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's what they
Especially
keep
like
telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm still like, they made the
took us
transition,
like
but
a month.
I'm afraid to.
yeah,
Not
a
gonna do
month
it
to
yet.
go like fully.
Yeah.
And what's nice is like when you make the transition, now you're jacked up on this new program.
True.
And so you're like all inspired to do all sorts of crazy
And
new
it
things.
does
That's
so
true.
many cool things that you're just
Yeah.
vibing. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I can make. What is this sound I'm doing right now?
Right.
don't
I would
even
never make this
understand.
before.
Yeah.
That's pretty
It's
cool.
so sick.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
But enough about Bitwig. We could talk all day and night.
Yeah.
We suck Bitwig's dick.
Yeah.
On a regular.
Give
basis.
us a sponsorship, guys. Come on.
We're waiting for it.
I'm pretty German, so I'm part of the Bitwig family.
You went there once.
Ich bin Deutsch.
Yeah.
Ja, kann Deutsch sprechen.
You were Russian on the
Exactly.
last podcast for a
Yes,
little
that
bit.
is true. I'm
That's-
also
Sponsor
very
the
Russian.
podcast, Bitwig. We need it.
Sometimes you must be Russian.
So there's this thing I've kind of been like toying with a little bit, and I haven't figured out like the best method or like way to approach it. But I've been trying to mess with like multiband phasers and multiband comb filters.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played with any of those, so
Yeah, I never even thought about it until like
Yeah.
a week ago. Me and Caleb just randomly thought about
Yeah,
it,
we were
and then you
talking
gave
about
me
it.
the comb filter idea.
Mm.
And so I was playing with it a little bit today, and it's
Yay.
kind of cool because like, let's say you wanted your mids to have the comb filter like sweep upward a little bit, and you get that fun little sound, but then your highs are like sweeping down. It just creates this weird like illusion of it like sucking in on itself or like some weird thing.
Huh.
And yeah, I just feel like there's like a lot of potential to that.
yeah,
it seems cool.
I'll definitely have to play around with that. That sounds very fun.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was we're watching this TikTok of this jet that just is like shooting, and then like a gun starts
Oh, yeah.
shooting at this jet as it's flying through the air, and it's like, and it does a nice sweep, and you hear this like,
You hear like all
the
these combs just like
craziest-
kinda
Yeah.
like doing
super
crazy shit.
comey sound, and we're talking about trying to do like a Shepard's tone, kind of like a thing out of comb filters that it's like fading between comb filters that are going up individually, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
For
I like
everybody
That'd be like a
in chat
fun-
who doesn't know what a shepherd's tone is, would you mind?
Sound that like a riser that sounds like is continuously going up but never really changes pitch at all.
Exactly.
It's multiple different tones simultaneously fading in and then being in and then fading out as they're going up in pitch.
It's the coolest sound,
So
and it's
then-
the best for build-ups ever. You get like an infinite
Yeah, I haven't played
riser.
with that.
Oh,
at all.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
dude, what? Yeah, you got to play with it a little bit. They're
sure.
so much fun.
So
yeah.
a more detailed version then in that case.
We
So
pull up an
you
image,
could do
Caleb?
like 3. Oh yeah, there's probably some good ones.
Yeah.
You could do like 3 sine waves, let's say, and you want to say the middle one. So they're octaves, and the middle one is like loudest spot when it's
Yeah.
at its center,
It's like main.
and then the bottom one is going up in pitch, so it's
Sorry,
going.
folks.
And you just like barely hear it at first, and then until it gets to the tone
Oh
of
my
the
goodness.
middle,
Yeah.
and then by that time there's another one coming in.
So they're constantly like
They're
interchanging.
trading, yeah.
Yeah. You have a bunch just exactly
Yeah.
that. So it's like giving this illusion that it's always rising, but really it's kind of staying in this like
Yeah, it just kind of gets to here
specific
and goes to
frequency
here.
Yeah.
It keeps.
Interesting.
Man, it
Keeps
looks
that
really
one.
cool on a
It looks
fucking
super
one of
satisfying.
those.
right.
Yeah, that's.
It looked
sweet.
like there was a fun video.
How's that for?
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Sweet.
This is a Shepard tone,
Maybe turn it down a little bit.
folks. Pussy.
I have sensitive ears, Caleb.
It's not going to get that high. You think
This
it will?
is it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can hear the bottom one coming in.
But it always is kind of like a steady tone in the middle.
That's so.
Yeah,
strange.
Kinda.
you're always focused on the center one. The moment it gets too high,
Because it's the loudest.
it fades.
It's a really good job, whoever did this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a clean one for sure.
Yeah, Austin's fucked around with this a lot more than
Dude,
I
yeah.
have for
Super
sure.
It's one of my favorite things. Yeah, I've done like a couple different versions. You could do it with one of my favorite things of all time is like sub drops. You know, just a good sub like kind of thing, and it like
Yeah.
fills the room. You can do it with like sub drops and have an infinite sub drop. And like, yeah, that's just like that's heaven for
That
me.
is hilarious.
Yeah, that's wild.
bro.
Yeah,
That's
right.
so ridiculous.
Yeah, to just keep sending them. Yeah. Another cool way to do it.
Great in the club, too.
Right.
Just
Oh, yeah.
wreck the crowd for like 30 seconds.
Just yeah, just so much bottom end.
Yeah, it'd be
Like, when is
insane.
it gonna end?
The one kid who took K is just like, oh fuck, just losing his shit.
So yeah, I learned
Don't do drugs, kids.
there's actually 2 versions of Shepard's tones you can do.
Okay.
And as far as I've seen on like YouTube and the internet and whatever, nobody's like done the second version. So the one that you just showed, I would consider more of a linear one. It's just a constant tone rising.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a cool one you can do, which is like an exponential one. So instead of having every tone rise together and like you just have like that kind of thing, they're all rising to one point, if that makes sense. So you'd have one going a little bit slower, and then one starts like an octave down or something like that, and then they kind of like meet up together way up here. And it just creates more of like a, I don't know how to call it, like a,
So it does end, that one.
yes, you can make it not end by just like having a bunch of
Keep
risers do it.
doing it.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
keep doing it. But it creates,
So
it
that-
creates like a
I
climax.
think
That's what I was.
I think that's
what I
just
was
called a
thinking.
tone, not a Shepard's tone.
It's different, Caleb.
Interesting.
What's
Yeah,
like
I haven't heard of that.
adjacent
Yeah.
thing to a shepherd. Farmer's tone.
The farmer's
Ranger tone.
rise.
Milker.
Ranger tone.
Yeah.
Ranger tone.
Wait, Rancher.
Rancher.
That's it.
A
Rancher
rancher's tone.
This my new favorite tone is called a rancher's
It's
tone.
a Rancher's tone right here, boy.
We-
Shoot fire.
Oh, so that just made me think, because we were talking about multiband shit. What if we made like multiband Shepard's tone risers?
And
So
then
the
they're
mid-
combing down.
And then they're coming down, so it's going like up and down at the same time? Yeah. That's wild. See, that's why multiband cones
Hang
and
on.
Shepard's
Sound that
tones
would
are the fucking shit.
separate somebody
So
on
sick.
acid's brain cells.
I know.
Yeah, just keep talking for a moment. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, and if you did it that way, if you had multiband Shepard's tones and comb filters, you could have like the mid comb filter going up with the Shepard's tone, and then the high is like going down, or vice versa. Or you could like, I don't know, you could play with it. They could go up and down. Dude, there's options. We got options.
You
with
could
this. This
mid-
is like blowing my mind.
A mid-side compressor or comb,
Mid-side
mid-side comb,
Oh, that'd be weird.
or we can make our own thing called a comb-pressor.
Comb.
That is,
Compressor.
Some sort of comb and compressor combo. You know what I'm saying?
Folks, we're going to put a patent on that. Don't try and steal that.
That's exactly right. Actually,
gonna
we'll
be-
edit this out.
Yeah. Always, because we're going to make an always 400 limiter, which is, or clipper, that's just
Clipper.
called always clipping.
Always
This is going to be
clipping.
great. I'm excited for that one. But yeah, I'm totally down to make a always comb
Compressor.
pressing.
Compressor.
Sounds so. I don't even know if there's
No, that's a great idea. I know.
if there's a programmer out there looking for not a job but an unpaid internship. Let's go.
Yeah.
Have y'all gotten into
Jump in the DMs.
plugin creation at all yet, or no?
Not yet, but
No.
I'm gonna have to for this clipper. But I don't think it's gonna be that hard.
Yeah.
I think I can just find clipping algorithm code,
Yeah.
Probably.
and then I just have to make an interface basically.
Um,
But there is Juice or whatever the program to like you can use to make VSTs. But I haven't really done that much research yet.
Is this always like what's is it always going to be clipping?
No, it's just because
We are always 400.
Right.
we are always
That is
400.
our
So
company.
yeah, so it's just called always clipping because you
that would
should always be
hilarious. Yeah,
clipping.
It's just you don't have like any options.
Yeah.
It's just
It's just-
on or off.
I also I want 0
Not bad,
decibels to be 400.
Yes. I want the input 400. The output can be negative 400, so it's even. But I want that bitch slamming. Just
It gets an auto 400 gain boost.
yeah,
when you
into
throw
it,
it on.
into it. So it's just
Much like the Omicile. Like,
Yeah.
when you throw it on,
Omicide.
it really is thrashing that sound. You're
Yeah.
pushing it by 400 dB.
Yeah.
we have a question. Do
Oh.
you guys remember my birthday remix song? Yes, we do
Jet,
remember
how could we forget?
your birthday remix song.
What about it?
We
Great
did a feedback
On Saturday night.
stream on Saturday
a very
night.
Loose.
A very loose one. There was 5
Feedback.
people
Yeah,
in
we had
here.
5
it was
people
stacked
tuned
in
in.
here.
Yeah. It was honestly so much fun though.
Yeah, it was
We were all
ridiculous.
having like a grand time.
Jet,
It's
we
so
are
sick.
not doing feedback though today, my
Yeah,
dude.
this is just the pod. Thank you for coming.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
This is the podcast. This is the main slice of pie for this channel. So you chose wisely. But we will be doing another feedback
Week from Saturday.
a week from this upcoming Saturday. So you'll have to wait.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. We have,
I'm sorry.
full-time
However-
jobs and shit.
One of us might be streaming sooner.
Who knows?
Who knows? Just watch the channel because the channel will host a stream. So
Mm-hmm.
just so you're aware.
I just-
Twitch.tv.
/ always 400 official.
Yeah,
you
that's
heard
right.
it. That's right, folks.
How'd y'all come to always
Pass that
400?
pen this way.
Pretty sure it was like mushrooms and camping or something.
Fair enough.
yeah.
I think.
Yep.
More or less, we would just say 400%
Yeah.
all
yeah,
the time.
Yeah, but like
that would be
fuck
always.
100%, 400%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we made a gang sign, and then it was like 400%, and then somebody was like always, and so then
Always 400.
always
Yeah.
400.
We actually just started naming for our lo-fi and shit that we were putting out. We would put Always 400 Records as a joke.
Mm-hmm.
And then a buddy was like, "What is this? Always 400?" And we're like, "It's our label."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we just were like, "Yeah, we'll just make a label."
And
Yeah.
then we're like, oh wait, yeah, we should actually just do this.
Yeah.
And then
Fuck it.
now we're always 400.
Made a website, made all the. I mean, yeah, we need
So if
an
you got
umbrella
some weird
for all the
demos
things.
to throw our way, let us know.
For sure.
Yeah, or if you want to release under an
We'll
alias.
show them to like 10 or 15 people.
Hell yeah.
It's a pretty tempting offer, we know. So another thing I've been messing around with this week that I wanted to pick your brain about. It's like kind of an obscure thing, but it's like a fun concept. It's trying to like synthesize vocals. So instead of just like speaking into a vocoder or something, you like actually program your synth to try and like speak. So to try and make it say like yeah or come on or something. Have you ever like messed around with something like that?
I've never tried something like that, but there is a plugin that's kind of like what you're saying, but it's like way more like AI.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh yeah, with the anime chick on the front of it.
that might be the one.
Okay.
And it's like you can
Because I used to have that, and I couldn't make it work. I was confused.
Yeah, I never tried it, but my roommate when I was going to Icon was like really into it, and he was like trying to like he was really thinking about getting it. But it was like you could type like a sentence or whatever, and then like
Yeah, I think that's
write
it.
the melody that you want it to sing.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know how well
Feeding
it
it
works.
like MIDI and text at the same
yeah,
time.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Huh.
cool. I haven't
Yeah.
even heard about that. Yeah.
Something and I can't think of the name of it for the life of me, but
Vocal AI synth or something.
something like that. Maybe it is Vocaloid. I don't think it was free though.
In voice.
This is the one I'm thinking of.
Oh, interesting.
It looks like a key generator kind of
That
plugin.
does.
Right, right.
What's a key generator?
I don't know what that is.
I mean, yeah, we
No,
don't
yeah.
know what that
See,
is.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
this is the one that I know of. You like, you type in your text, English or Japanese text, of course.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then it has presets for vocal things, and then you have a bunch of different modulation and stuff.
You-
And I
That's
think
hilarious.
I think it works pretty well. But when I had it, I was like a year into producing.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I don't know.
what's compressor ratio? I don't know. Like, interesting. Oh yeah, there's this
That
one
could be
too.
fun.
Vocal synth is
Vocal
fun.
synth, yeah.
That's like you sing into that, but you actually.
Oh, that's right.
This thing is actually pretty fun to play around with on like basses. And
Right,
stuff.
Yeah.
right. That's what I would also do with it.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
break things.
Especially with all the like formenty stuff that they got on there.
That's sick.
Yeah, and that's what actually has been kind of giving me that idea is like I really like formant filters on my basses.
Yep.
Giving it that like kind of vocally kind of tone, you know?
Yeah.
Like I just love that. It makes it sound like a monster or something weird, you know? And like, yeah, me and my buddy John and like we've all kind of talked about just like, what if you just made it try and speak? And it's fucking hard as fuck.
It is. I would imagine that's hard. I mean,
Yeah.
even just like getting the right formant sound can be rough, especially with how much formant filters thin the sound.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, getting your synth to speak would be pretty sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
I mean, he made one out of sine waves the other day.
I
He made
did,
something
yeah.
say "come on" out of like
yeah, I could show
30
you later at
different
some point or
sine
something.
waves.
It'd be cool,
That is-
yeah.
I'd
It's super
be very
nerdy.
interested to see,
Yeah.
see that.
It sounds like you can hear it, but it sounds like a broken Bit Crusher from the 90s or
It
something.
sounds
Like it's
it
super
sounds
weird.
pretty sick. It
What's-
sounds like
No,
a
it sounds-
computerized
Right.
Yeah.
synth thing.
It
Yeah.
makes me want to do it for like a synthwave project or something. It sounds like an
Oh.
AI talking to like
Yeah.
whoever.
Yeah.
Our buddy John is like actually pretty good at making
Yeah,
them
he-
say things.
Yeah.
Interesting.
or be balloons.
He
Yeah, he's so good at
yeah,
that.
he
for
has
some
a
reason.
fucking
So
he's working
weird.
on a remix of
Gorillas.
yeah, it's like a Gorillaz track.
Oh yeah,
And he made it go like I'm happy. It's like his synth is going
Yeah, it
I'm
is-
Abra.
Oh,
Like, it's fucking
that's
sick.
sick.
it's so gross
Yeah.
in a good way, folks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
At restraint.
Shout out
Johnny Boy.
Shout out restraint.
Hey.
So yeah,
That was an abrupt ending to that clap.
I know that was a little brutal. Audience wasn't
Back
feeling
in
it
the
too much,
city.
I guess.
No.
It was forced.
That's okay though.
Yeah.
Did they give you guys a lot of like mixing info?
At
Teach
Icon?
you a lot? Yeah.
Yeah, a ton.
I'd be curious
hell
like
yeah.
what they kind of prescribe, like the way to go about it.
So where I learned like the most about mixing at
Okay.
Icon each quarter you're assigned like a mentor, and once a week you meet with your mentor for like an hour.
Okay.
And that is like my third quarter there. My mentor was like exclusively a mixing and mastering mentor. And that's
Sick.
like before he taught at Icon, like that's all he did was like master and mix in Hollywood. So he had like a ton of insight for me, and that was like every week for an hour. Like he'd prescribe me to make a track for next week. So I'd finish a song, mix it down, come in. He'd give me critiques on like what I did wrong, or like, I mean, I guess there's technically nothing wrong, but where my mud is at and all that.
Sure.
And then we'd master it together, like sitting next to him, and he would have me like go through and master it while he's instructing me, which was like invaluable.
Yeah, right.
Sounds
Like,
amazing.
it was phenomenal.
Yeah, sounds dope.
Yeah, it's great to like pay for like the educational side of Icon and stuff, but like having a mentor and like somebody just there is like the best thing you can ever have.
Yeah, and like you really do form like a relationship with your mentors. So like when they prescribe you like your homework or whatever, go home and create a song, like you really want to do it. Because like if you come in and you didn't do your shit,
Oh,
like,
gross.
Oh, yeah.
Gross.
If you're at Icon,
Yeah.
nah.
Leave, bro. What are you doing here?
yeah,
They'd
no,
probably be pissed.
I'd be pissed.
not even like pissed, because like and that's the crazy thing, like the classes are small. Like my class started with I think 18 people, and like 14 graduated.
Okay.
People drop out, and like the people that do drop out like aren't doing anything.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Like-
Right.
Like
they
show up
think
to class,
they
like,
think it's easy, and then they're like, "Oh wait, I have to know all this shit." Gross.
yeah, and that was like pretty much every kid that like dropped out, like except for a few here and there that just like we're just like, I wasn't ready for this. A lot of them were like, oh yeah, like I picked up Ableton 6 months ago and Jaws went here,
Right.
and then they get here and they realize like how hard producing and sound design and all that is, and then they're like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, right.
Good. Yeah. Don't need them.
No, and that it was kind of nice, because by like end of second quarter, it was a bunch of people that were really enthusiastic.
Right.
about it.
Everybody's stoked on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
Hell yeah.
I would say probably the most valuable part about Icon is being surrounded by like everyone is a producer that is like really into it.
Right.
Because it's like
yeah.
when it's like everyone just pushes each other so hard,
Right.
because
Right.
you have feedback in classes for tracks, and like you hear other people's music and you want to go home and make something that'll
You
make
want
the
it
class
to
Yeah,
be
more
right.
better.
Yeah.
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 You're like, I want to show up tomorrow with some
I
banging
want to
shit.
Yeah, for
give
sure.
them the fire tomorrow, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, like all the classrooms too have just like gigantic like speakers and sound systems. So like when you're playing track feedback, it's banging.
Oh,
Right.
fuck
Some
yeah.
good shit.
Right.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's basically why we all exist. We were just like, we have to find more people like this, and we made. Well, I didn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't a part of it, but they started Subs Up, and then Dave joined. It was like this whole just meeting of people, and thank
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
thank God, because doing this alone, holy smokes,
Yeah.
folks, if you can,
It's a grind.
one of the best things you could do is just find other producers in your town. Just find other people, or
it out.
online. Just make friends with other producers.
Yeah.
It is
Literally
key.
show someone else how to do it or something.
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, and that
It's
was
worth
like
it.
before Icon. I didn't have like any really producer
Right.
friends, and so like you make some stuff. You're like, wow, this is pretty decent.
Yeah, you have no frame of reference.
Yeah, and then like you show up to Icon, and there's some kids there that are just like first quarter like insane. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh shit.
Man, I gotta step my game up.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It was nice though. They had pretty like access to the studios till like 3 or 4 a.m. Free coffee all night. So
You just-
going to Icon, you're up all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I would be too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
have a job. I would just go there and just be. It would be college.
Yep.
Yeah.
College at that point.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I treated it as. Because I went to Arizona State for 2 years,
Oh,
and I
damn.
was just like, this, I can't,
Yeah.
I can't get a marketing degree.
Oh.
And all my friends at one point were just like, man, all you do is produce. Like, I know your grades aren't good. Why are you here? I was like, oh shit. So went to Icon. Now I'm here.
Oh,
Fuck
you made
yeah,
the
dude.
commitment.
Yeah.
You went for
When
it.
did when
Oh.
when did you
Moved to
graduate?
Denver, baby.
I graduated Icon in 2019,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So pre-COVID.
pre-COVID.
Okay,
yeah, no,
cool.
it was literally like we graduated. I October 2019, and then it was like we all, me and a couple classmates got a house out in LA. We're like, man, this is great. There's a good bass music scene here. Let's get going. Got some friends with like the crew out there. They go by Bass Waffles. They throw a lot of bass
let's
music
go.
shows. Yeah, they serve up waffles with the bass music.
What?
Yeah, for free, which is sweet.
Whoever you are, that's a great idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then
I would love that.
It was like as soon as we were all ready to start doing all that, then COVID came. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Bye.
Damn.
yeah.
Yeah, it shut us down for sure.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, it's fair.
I mean, it didn't shut us down.
No, I
we were
got to
just
work.
doing the same thing we were doing the whole time. Fucking working and making music.
I will say, I didn't really release throughout the quarantine, which was nice because I got to curate like what I really wanted my project to sound like.
Right.
Yeah.
You were given the time to sit there and tweak it.
Yeah, and had that not happened, I maybe would have released some stuff I wouldn't have
Yep.
wanted to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but that fear always exists.
Right.
True.
I feel like that's never going to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, that's true.
You know?
And that's like another thing, like something I had to get over with releases, which I think this is good advice for pretty much anyone if there are releasing. Stocking up tunes to release is good, but there is a point where like you've got so much stocked up that no matter what, the next thing you make is better than like
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Diminishing returns.
And it's easy to get stuck in a loop of never releasing because
Yeah.
the next thing you make is better.
Yeah. Right.
So
For
sometimes
sure.
you got to commit and just be like,
yeah.
put
No.
this one out. I like it.
Yeah.
call.
Because like at a certain point, you just gotta say fuck it, and just put it out and have fun.
Yeah, and,
And,
it's like
like-
at one point, even if you don't like that track anymore, at one point you really did, and like you just don't because you've heard it so many damn times.
Yeah.
Right,
Right.
no,
like you
you're
still put
jaded.
your heart into that, and
Yeah.
like it
Jaded
was still
as
a fun
fuck.
creative moment, but
Right.
like, yeah.
It's so hard not to be jaded making music. Because I'll get jaded on a kick in 10 minutes.
Oh, same.
Easy.
my God.
Yeah,
Instantly. I'm like, nah, it's trash.
Old
Yeah.
man Caleb over here.
Dude. I'll spend hours on
Same.
kicks.
get jaded on my whole collection of kicks.
Dude, right?
Yeah, that's why I have kick too, so I have to make a new one
Yeah.
every time. I'm not allowed to just like sift through shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, hitting
have-
the arrow key does suck.
Yeah, no, I don't allow myself. And I have like just a couple claps to choose from, and then snares have to also be made.
What do you make your snares in?
I just make those out of a collection of random shit. I'll just like,
yeah?
just grab.
Oh, Franken-snares.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you
yeah.
take like
100%.
transient, then a body and a tail.
But-
So
Most of the time, I mean, with the house shit, it's normally claps.
yeah.
Besides the off snares, those all flip through shit.
Have any of you played with like synthesis, like making a snare from a synth?
Yes, I've made a couple snares in like Serum and Operator, but I never.
Nothing to like?
I like
they-
doing that to layer sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll use like a body kind of layer that I use a synth for, and then kind of take a sample for
But
the
I'll
more
show
of the
you.
transient and high end stuff.
I'm not going to put these on the stream because they're private. But
Everyone go download fucking Caleb's claps and snares.
no.
Do it.
Traverse through the camera and
but
look below.
when I make snares, they always sound like this. Oh,
Oh, hello.
yeah, right.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
they're nice,
Those sound pretty good.
but they're
They do.
always just that, just like the same 2018
it
bass
too.
music snare. Like
Yeah, I
I
get
get
bored
so
of it.
bored of it. Yeah, like what I want is more, I don't know. Those are
Yeah.
just weird
I-
hip hop ones, but I like weird shit in
I
my
love
snare.
like heavy kick, heavy basses, and then like a snare that's just like
Yeah, just a little.
yeah,
fucking,
just a little one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
like a little
100%.
one, really little, but like really wide.
Yeah, or in just reverb, just.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a good one. How would you go about widening your snares or getting your snare to the sweet spot? If you have any, like,
Reverb, short tail.
nice. Okay.
Other than that, that's like wide sample. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's pretty much exactly what I do too.
Yeah. I mean, you could Haas it if you want to be ballsy. Just Haas the whole
True.
signal.
Ooh.
Just no mono.
Yeah, just no mono snares.
Or like, because I do
Gone.
do a lot of snare layering, kind of like what you're
Yeah,
saying, like
yeah.
Franken snares, and then like, I mean, if you have like 2 or 3 body layers,
Right.
hands,
Yeah. Yeah.
And one down the middle, one
yeah.
mono.
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. That's usually what I'll do. It's in the making of the snare that I choose how it goes.
wide it goes.
But that's why I
Yeah.
usually make it per track. When it comes to house music, I can get a loop pretty far without a snare or clap. So
Yeah.
then when I go into that, into making that, I can kind of tailor it depending on what's already in the loop that's made it, you know? And that usually helps. But also sometimes I just search clap and like the third one, you're like, yeah, that's it.
Yep.
And it goes in and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually got to take a clap and then give it like a few bits of extra sauce to kind of make it feel like it's three-dimensional and not just a single like rendered sample of a clap sound.
You can definitely get away with a lot more with like bass music snares, I would think. Just because like the weirder the snare in the bass music, like the more it's gonna make someone like like
snares are bad. Yeah, crazy snares.
No, and like I've been listening to like a lot of deep dub recently.
Let's go.
And like
me too.
The snare processing in deep dub is so fun.
It's
because like not only is it the latest thing ever, like the snare's in a different room.
Every time.
Yeah.
It might be a totally new snare you haven't heard, and it's in a canyon.
Yeah.
And then the next one is right in front of your face.
Yeah.
And it's like 45 milliseconds behind the beat.
Yeah. It's pretty great.
Hell yeah.
I've been
love
trying
me
to make
some
my
of that.
bass sounds all late and lazy like that lately,
Yeah.
and dude, it's so good for like hip hoppy kind of stuff or like breakbeat bass music. It just makes it fucking like swaggery and like
without a doubt.
Helps it shuffle a little more.
Yeah, it's been my shit lately.
Especially like on the EP I dropped a month ago with Mean Mug. The
By the way, fire.
oh, thank you, I appreciate that.
Check it out, folks.
That was a real fun one to make, and a lot of my basses there are like 25 to 30, some 40 milliseconds behind the beat.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's just like it makes it so like you can't help but like power frown.
yeah.
Power frown. Okay.
Power frown. I like that.
Because I was sitting there.
I just call it the dirt face.
Yeah, just I was literally sitting there like mouse on
Playing
like on the delay time, and I just kept pushing it back. I got to like 40, and I was just like, oh.
It's so
Hell yeah.
I love it.
Hell yeah.
That's sick.
That is so sick.
Yeah, and
dude.
then it's got a wub that also takes a minute to get up.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
whips your head around.
And then there's 25-second pre-delay on the reverb. So it's like,
Everything's just crazy late.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have an early kick.
Yeah. Well, and like doing
Love
all,
that shit.
doing all
Shit's
stuff
good.
like that, like pushing everything late, and then pushing your perks like 10 to 12 milliseconds ahead of the beat. It just like accentuates the lateness of everything else.
Yeah,
And
right,
it just makes
right.
it really pull.
That's
Yeah.
sick.
I'm a big fan
Pocket.
of putting stuff late.
Yeah, the pocket.
That
You got to
pocket.
find the pocket, dude.
Got it.
100%.
All right.
Good old pocket. Folks, keep it off the grid, okay?
Yeah. Fuck the grid.
Off the grid,
Oh.
folks.
Fuck the grid.
I mean,
Do it burial style.
that's right.
No grid at all.
None.
Go to town.
Zero grid.
Yeah, we used to do for Subs Up, we would do like a challenge for everybody, and everybody make a 1 minute like beat thing with whatever the challenge was. And we did a no grid one time. That was pretty fun.
I would
Because then
imagine.
everybody's trying to like math their way into like creating their own grid, basically, is what it
It's
turns
like,
into.
No, don't do that. It's
like-
defeats the whole point of
It's
the
like,
thing.
yeah, no, I mean, I definitely just like kick drum, drag out, and then duplicate it across the track. And it's like, there's my grid.
Yep.
And then from there, you just start fudging things around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I've actually never done like a challenge like that. I'll have to play around, see what I can do with
Yeah.
absolutely no
It's
grid.
pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
maybe we
intense.
could do a no grid beat battle. No, that would be too much for like a.
I mean, that's just
Yeah.
any beat battle if you're a pro. What I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Looking at you, Kenny Beats. Pussy. No, just kidding.
Only the real beat battles are no grid allowed.
That's right.
Yeah.
right.
Something I've been playing around with that I can't quite figure out, but I feel like is a really, really cool concept is just like layering bass sounds. Have you guys ever tried to go about that?
A lot of my bass sounds are layered.
Oh, sick. How do you go about it?
So I'm like, kind of like what you would do with the snare. You know, there's the low end.
Go
Like,
ahead and bring this mic.
Sorry,
You're
there's the low end, but like, and I'm not talking about like the sub low end. Like I'll create. Have you ever watched the Noisia tutorials?
Oh yeah,
It's kind of the way they go about doing like neuro basses is an approach I take to some of my dubstep basses.
Okay.
Cool.
But you know,
Interesting.
low body in the mid is where I'll put like the more vowel-y shit. Like any of the like talky basses you hear from me, that's mid. Process that differently from the low, and then get the high end, which is usually like a noise layer.
Yeah.
Process that differently, and then compress it all together, saturate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like
Clip it.
very, very aware of like what bass sound you're putting in what frequency range kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and especially with like stereo too, because like it is like if you're not paying attention, it's a bastard to mix. Like
I could see
when
that.
you got layered basses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does give you a lot of control on what's wide and what's not, down to like an individual noise.
Sure.
Totally.
I
Sure.
can see that.
Is awesome for mixing, because like when you have that kind of control, like your mixes are just way cleaner.
Yeah, just pristine, right?
Yeah.
So something I've been trying to do is like, so let's say just for like your mid or your top or something, if you had one bass sound mono and you had a different sound stereo, could that work? Or if it's like just the sides kind of thing? Because I keep trying to play around with it, but I can't quite make it like gel and give the illusion of one sound. But I feel like it's a cool idea.
It is a cool idea, and yeah, you can definitely do that.
Yeah,
It's,
you could do that.
Yeah. A way to do it too that's like what I've been enjoying doing a lot, and it's a little less like tedious, is like with unison. So like if I'm doing that with the bass sound, the one that's down the middle is just going to be one voice, and then like the one that I'm spreading out to the sides will be just two far.
Oh, okay.
So then I've got the one voice down the middle, and then the two that are detuned, and it spreads.
That's clever.
Yeah,
I like
it's a little
that.
cleaner than having 7
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And once again, you just get way more control.
Right.
Like in the
yeah.
mix.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. That kind of made me think like if you had your one in the center and then your two unison like just kind of detuned, and then maybe you have another oscillator doing two detuned just like a little bit further with like a kind of different tone. I guess it could start getting really muddy at that point, but like you could really play with like your layers in the stereo.
You could, and you could. I mean, if you were about it, you could pull it off. Like it might get a little messy.
Yeah, it'll get messy real
Yeah, I mean,
fast.
it's going to take practice.
Yeah.
Like in anything, you'd probably have to make it like 50
Dial it in,
times
yeah.
before you're like, well, to really make it work, you got to do this on the third one and then this on the fourth one or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And like you were saying, you're having trouble to make it sound like one sound. A way that I found to make it cohesive. So I've got the one unison, or the one voice, and then the two unison. Instead of doing 2, you could do 3. So then you still have that middle voice, but taking an EQ and taking out a little bit of the middle with a EQ.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So you let the mid sit in there a little bit more.
A little bit, yeah, just to phase it in.
Shelf. Yeah.
And saturation to then blend it all.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, push
Saturation's
it
your
against
friend.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to all hit the wall together.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then it sits in the mix together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Which is also like if you're doing any sort of like intense EQ cuts, like you should be saturating afterwards to refill in the harmonics that you're taking out with healthier ones.
Right.
Healthier harmonics. I like that.
I like it too.
Fucking healthy harmonics.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing.
Gotta
Kinda-
keep your harmonics healthy.
Dude, I'm about to make a shirt. It's about to be an Always 400 shirt.
Yeah, that's
Healthy
incredible.
harmonics.
Hashtag healthy harmonics. I'm going to have to make a command.
Oh, that would be a fun Twitch command, yeah. Oh, yeah. Studio audience loves it.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, we're at about an hour. Anything else?
Oh, wow, that was quick.
Any random shit
Yeah, it
you guys
flies
been
by,
playing
huh?
around with? Or random thing anyone wants to say?
I was going to show you guys a couple TikToks that are fun.
Oh,
Oh, we're doing
You got
the...
a couple TikToks.
I mean, we can do a rough pass. So this is, folks,
Okay, yeah.
brand new segment. Whoa. Brand new
Wow.
segment. We're going to look at like random TikTok shit that we find.
Do you
throughout
mind
the
being
week.
our guinea pig for a
Let's
little
go.
yeah.
segment?
No, I'm with it.
Yeah, we're going to definitely do this. as a regular thing, just review random people as producer. TikToks
Yeah, like
and
or
shit.
yeah, like an
Instagrams or
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be somebody talking about something that's cool, and we're like, no, yeah, this is sick. Or it could be what I'm about to show you, and we can just be like, yeah, this is cool. This is ridiculous.
Oh, great.
Oh yeah.
Let's go, dude.
10 points for creativity.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
run it back real quick. Hey.
It would be an actual sick noise layer. Yeah.
See,
It's
now
like that classic Noisia video where they're like, "This is how we make our basses," and then it's like a broken speaker with like a piece of paper attached to it, and with like a fan or some shit.
Yeah, that's a
Fucking
great one.
hilarious.
Now listening to that one on headphones,
Just cooking up in.
I feel like there's no way that's real.
No,
I feel like-
it's not. I saw
because at
a
first
couple
when we
other
heard it on the
ones.
phone, I was like, "Oh wow, that actually sounds really good." Like
Yeah,
I knew the
no.
sub was, of course, not real, but I thought the high end was like the actual thing.
Oh, sure.
And then
Yeah.
now I'm like, "Oh,
No, yeah, I saw some guy, which it makes perfect sense, but he was doing it and it like came off, and then he just like wiggled it on like the
that's-
last one.
That's funny.
Yeah, and I was
Sick.
like, nice.
Somebody just was listening to that tune and was like, "It sounds like,"
Yeah.
and then they like make a TikTok, and the internet is beautiful.
Nice. Yeah, internet always wins.
Yeah, it does.
This is one of my favorite TikTokers.
Just cooking up in the stew right now, making some sweet tunes. Check this out.
It's like
Rock
a
and roll,
TV.
baby.
Is it on his video game system?
It's I don't know what it's hooked into. Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
It's a PlayStation.
what?
Yeah.
What's it say?
That's
Music
sick.
something.
Music maker.
Music maker.
Oh, is it Music Maker?
Yeah.
No way.
I've heard that shouted out on
Yeah, I have too.
So much.
back to back before.
Yeah, on a
Yeah.
couple other little podcasts. Yeah, I love how everything's like duct taped and shit to the wall.
Yeah.
This guy's like, he's so proud of it too. Just like
Some beats.
He's just in his
fucking.
suit.
Just cooking up in the stew right now, making some sweet tunes.
All the
Check this
desktop
out.
speakers too.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is how it's made.
Yeah.
Like kind of music. Oh, it's fucking
Speakers
hilarious.
on the side of the monitor.
Yeah, yeah. And he's holding like a mic for a game show. And he called the studio the stew.
The stew.
Cooking up in the stew right now.
Hell yeah.
I like it. Anyway, shout out that guy,
His ponytail. It's
Grammy
killing
Baron
it over
69. I don't know how to say that, but
It's,
big ups, my guy.
Big
sick.
ups.
Big ups. Well, thank you for coming on the pod.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Shouts out.
Yeah, you're welcome back anytime. Be
how,
around.
how can people find you?
Catch me on Instagram, SoundCloud, Spotify. Spotify, preferably.
Yeah, sure. Gallium, that's GALLIUM.
Yep. And then hit me up on Instagram, Gallium with 2 G's and 2 M's.
Let's go. Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
big ups.
Fuck
Thank
yeah,
you,
man.
folks.
It's been fun.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming on.
having me.
Yeah.
That was a blast. That went fast.
Yeah, I know, right? It just flies by.
does.
Yeah.
Let's cruise on by. Thanks, folks. Give us the subscribe, like, hit that notification bell, all the things. You know how it is.
Oh, yeah.